Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino Listener by me. So let's get into it. Arlecchino often felt comfortable that she could stay away from those emotions that would plague her and cause her to be in a disarray. A leader does not need to be emotional. In fact, emotions would hinder every single goal that she had in mind. She was a father for those children, a harbinger for the Fatui, and most of all, someone who had many things to do and many goals to accomplish. She could not afford the luxury of love or emotion. Fear, anger, love, and sadness. They were all powerful emotions, and just as they could be used to get what you want, they could also be used against you. And she could not afford to have any weaknesses. So when one day she woke up and felt slightly ill, she was unable to guess what it could be, and went on with her day normally until she started coughing. And next thing she knew, there was blood and a bloodied petal on her hand. Something that she wouldn't have expected, not in 100 years. Hanahaki, she mused, thinking to herself, that illness, just how weak have I become? She mumbled. She couldn't believe this was happening to her. She did her best to resist her own emotions, to remain cold. That way, she could protect herself and the children, and she could protect the interests of the house. If no one was able to get to her and no one knew her weaknesses, should they even exist, then everything would be perfectly fine. Except right now, that did not seem to be the case at all. She knew immediately who had caused this illness, but she didn't know what to do about it. It was an uncommon illness, not something that has been encountered a lot lately, so she was a little bit unsure of what to do. However, she knew very well that she could not afford to waste time. She had to figure out what to do before it got too serious. She did not have the luxury of choice. Whatever was the best for her children and the house, she would do. Even if that meant ignoring her own feelings and shattering them to pieces. It wouldn't be the first time, nor the last. And so as the days passed, and the illness got a little bit more serious, you started to notice, and you frowned, going up to her. Arlecchino, you seem unwell. Is everything alright? You've been avoiding me lately, and I don't know what I've done wrong. And you seem sick too, which I've never seen before, by the way. So what is it? Tell me. She looked at you for a couple of moments before letting out a sigh. I understand your curiosity and your worry, but I have no obligation to tell you what I'm going through. However, if you have any worries, please set them aside and focus on your mission. That is all I ask of you, Ion. Arlecchino, we are friends. Or at least I hope that we are. I know it's difficult for you to ask for help from anyone, but I would like to think that you may trust me. So tell me, if you're sick or if there's anything that I can do. I'd like to know. Don't keep me away. I'm not keeping you away. I'm keeping you right where you belong. Anything more than that is merely an assumption that you've made by yourself. And I cannot apologize for disappointing you about something I've never promised. Well, fine then. If that's what you're going to say. You respond, feeling hurt. And as you're turning away, she suddenly starts to cough. And that's when you turn around. The way she's coughing, it sounds painful, and you can't help but wonder just how severe her illness was. And then, something came out of her mouth, and you saw it before she could hide it. A flower. An entire flower. Bloodied and messy. And she looked at it in regret before turning away. Hanahaki. That's what you have. Arlecchino. You could have told me. I wouldn't have told anyone. Just, what are you going to do? Who is it? Have you thought about anything? Or are you just going to suffer like this? Enough questions, please. I have already thought about what I want to do. And? You're not going to confess? Of course not. I wouldn't do that. That would be against how I proceed. I'm simply going to have the surgery. Surgery? Arlecchino, please, you don't have to do that. I've heard it could be painful. I know this is quite uncommon, but those who have gone through this, it was not the most favorable outcome. Maybe the person loves you back, whoever they are. She looked at you for a couple of moments, pained. Perhaps, but I suppose we shall never know. Thank you for attempting to help, Oyan. Next time, do not waste your time with such advice. I have already made up my mind, and I've already arranged for the date of the surgery and everything. I appreciate your concern, Oyan. The next time you see me, it will be after the surgery, so we'll be just fine. She spoke, a deep sorrow in her voice that even you could sense. Goodbye, Wayan. Goodbye, Arlecchino.